Headcrabs are alien parasitoids, roughly the size of a pumpkin. They are covered in smooth skin that varies in colour between subspecies and walk on 4 legs comparable to those of a spider. The shape and length of these legs relative to the mass of the body varies between headcrab subspecies. Headcrabs are capable of leaping up to 3 meters or 10 feet in any direction, but will only perform this leap as an attack and require a direct line of visual contact to their target before they will do so. If they miss their target when leaping, headcrabs are placed in a disadvantageous position as it must turn completely around at a very slow speed before attempting another. Their average weight is around 8.5 pounds, as indicated by the payload discrepancy of the rocket launched in Half-Life 2 Episode 2, where Lamar can be seen sleeping in it before the launch. Their underbelly is almost entirely covered by a large jawless mouth, with a hidden beak used for feeding and for latching onto the skulls of victims. While they do possess what appears to be a set of 4 fang-like mandibles on the front of their body, they serve no obvious purpose, and so may simply be a vestigial evolutionary relic. As seen on Zen, headcrabs appear to be typically born out of a gonarch. Therefore, some headcrabs are assumed to mature into gonarchs as part of their natural life cycle and may never use a host. The headcrab's natural predator appears to be the bull squid. In several instances, bull squids in Half-Life can be seen using their ranged attack to kill headcrabs, which make no attempt to defend themselves. The bull squid will then feed on the dead headcrabs. Headcrabs were studied at Black Mesa, notably in the Advanced Biological Research Lab and the Gamma Labs. Headcrabs are one of the 3 enemies in the game that can be killed with the gravity gun after a few hits, the others being the antline soldier and the antline worker. During the Combine occupation of Earth, headcrabs appear to have no external sensory organs, including eyes or ears, while the standard headcrab appears to have 3 eyes on each side of their bodies 20 years prior. The standard headcrab can also be seen burrowing in and out of the ground, a behaviour not shared by any other subspecies. There are several headcrab subspecies. The standard headcrab, or simply the headcrab, is the most common headcrab subspecies, having teleported to Earth in abundant numbers during the Black Mesa incident. Headcrabs can produce a variety of vocalizations. When they are not hunting, headcrabs usually emit squeaks and fairly quiet repetitive calls while gently swaying their bodies back and forth. When attacking, headcrabs emit a sharp, shrill shriek as they leap towards their victims. The headcrab can appear harmless. At a glance, it is small and slow moving with its tiptoe-like gait. Although it can quickly leap long distances using its hind legs, tilting its body upwards to turn its mouth towards its target, such an assault can only inflict minor injuries with the claws, legs, and teeth. However, the headcrab's main goal is not to kill, but to attach itself onto an appropriate host's head. Using its leaping ability, it can reach a host's head and attempt to burrow its beak through the skull. Once successful, the headcrab takes control of the host's nervous system and causes physical alterations to the host's body, such as causing its hands to deteriorate into bony claws, via an unknown biological process. The host then rips open its own torso, revealing the stomach and other organs for feeding purposes. The headcrab-controlled host is called a standard zombie and is distinct from zombies created by other headcrab subspecies, which have different characteristics. A headcrab will frequently lie in wait in dark corners or ventilation shafts for unsuspecting prey to walk by. In more open environments, the creatures are known to bury themselves in the ground to hide, then climb out to the surface and attack when a possible host draws near. Headcrabs appear to be fairly unintelligent creatures and will pursue their prey under very dangerous conditions, moving through dangerous areas or towards hostile prey, even as fellow headcrabs die in front of them. Headcrabs have been observed to be prey for bull squids, vortigaunts, and barnacles. Isaac Kleiner's pet headcrab, Lamar, seems to have a taste for watermelons, suggesting that headcrabs are actually omnivorous, or possibly scavengers when not looking for a host. Headcrabs have also been seen cooked and eaten by humans in Black Mesa East, as well as by vortigaunts in the Black Mesa version of Interloper, which suggests that they are used as a common food source after the extinction of most of Earth's species. Citizens in Half-Life 2 Episode 1 comment that they don't taste like crab. The fast headcrab is a headcrab subspecies that appeared on Earth after the Combine invasion. Like the common headcrab, it latches onto prey to turn them into zombies. The fast headcrab looks much slimmer and more agile than a normal headcrab, having thinner, spindly legs, smoother, lighter bodies, and no visible mouthparts. fast headcrabs share many of the vocalizations of the standard headcrab. Fast headcrabs have wart-like bumps on their skin. The legs of a fast headcrab have elongated claws on each end, which serve as weapons as well as a means to latch onto prey once latches onto its head, or even to attach to surfaces. Fast headcrabs, as indicated by their name, move with great speed. They are rarely seen not moving and tend to skitter around the length of an area looking for prey. When they find one, fast headcrabs will rush straight on towards their prey. Like all headcrabs, they attack by jumping onto their prey and try to latch onto their head. The main difference is that fast headcrabs close the distance between themselves and their target very quickly before proceeding to leap at the target frantically. Their speed and unpredictable movement patterns make them difficult targets, and they can be very dangerous in groups of 3 or more. Due to their speed, fast headcrabs are mostly active hunters that search for prey. However, they can be ambush hunters as well. In dark areas, fast headcrabs can attach themselves to overhead ceilings where they will wait to drop down on unsuspecting prey. However, they will drop down early if a light source is pointed at them. Like all other headcrabs, fast headcrabs can latch onto a human's head and take control of their nervous system, creating a zombie that submits to the will of the headcrab. The resulting zombie is a human body stripped of all its flesh, with only the skeletal and muscular systems remaining. Like fast headcrabs, these fast zombies move at great speed thanks to their lightweight frame. Unlike regular zombies, they are also able to jump and climb. Fast headcrabs deal the same amount of damage as the standard headcrabs and have the same amount of health. As such, the player can kill the fast headcrab with the weapons used to kill a headcrab. However, fast headcrabs are harder to kill than their cousins due to their quick movements, which makes some surefire weapons like the crowbar or pistol harder to use. The player should take out the fast headcrab at a distance when they can. Weapons such as the MP7 can be quite effective in taking down one or a group of fast headcrabs due to its high rate of fire. Fast headcrabs can attack consecutively faster than other headcrab subspecies, which, when combined with their quick movements, make them more trouble than meets the eye, as they can get a few hits in before being killed. When near a fast headcrab, the player should try to regain distance, or keep visual track of the fast headcrab as to kill it immediately. The poison headcrab, or toxic headcrab in Half-Life Alyx, is a venomous headcrab variant, and one of the 4 known varieties of headcrab. Like its relatives, the poison headcrab is able to convert humans into zombies. Poison headcrabs are not edible in Half-Life 2 and its episodes. If a barnacle consumes one of them, it dies shortly after, making it an effective counter to the barnacle. In Half-Life Alyx, however, several barnacles are seen eating poison headcrabs without any apparent damage. The poison headcrab is identifiable by its dark skin and elongated legs. It is the largest of the headcrab subspecies seen on Earth, with a bulky body and thick long legs. It is equipped with 4 fangs on its front, with the 2 outer fangs extending further down, similar to those of the common headcrab. Its 4 long legs extend out from its body and are covered in bristles like its body. Each leg has a single joint, which helps the creature navigate and raise its body up from the ground, and ends in a singular sharp claw which helps it latch onto its prey. The skin around the joint is red in colour, with a white band running across the joint itself. These markings are possibly aposematic in order to warn off potential predators of its venomous nature. In Half-Life Alyx, poison headcrabs have a similar appearance, but have a dark grey colouring as opposed to the black coloration in Half-Life 2. The bright white and red markings are also darker. The poison headcrab is the slowest of the headcrabs in terms of movement despite its long legs. They move at a sluggish pace by slowly positioning each leg in a deliberate fashion. The only time they move in haste is when they receive damage, at which point they will skitter for a short distance to safety. Due to its slow movement, the creature primarily relies on ambush, hiding behind objects or waiting on higher ground to catch unsuspecting prey. When cornered or noticing prey, it will give off a distinct rattling sound before attacking head-on. Like all headcrabs, they attack by jumping onto their prey. However, poison headcrabs are comparatively slower in this regard as well, and cannot string together attacks as well as the other headcrab subspecies. Poison headcrabs possess a potent neurotoxin that acts both as a poison and venom. The headcrab delivers this toxin to its victim's bloodstream via its fangs. A bite from the poison headcrab will not kill the victim, but severely weaken it, allowing the poison headcrab to easily attach to them. While it is not lethal as a venom, this toxin is a lethal poison. Ingestion of the compound will immediately result in death. Consequently, a predator that eats the poison headcrab will likely die from the effects of this toxin. Like all headcrabs, poison headcrabs can latch onto a human's head and take control of their nervous system, turning the host into a zombie. Just as the poison headcrab is slower than its cousins, poison zombies move slower than other zombies. They appear bloated and hunched, the latter due to the host missing most of its supportive back muscles. Aside from its controlling headcrab, poison zombies usually host 2 or 3 more poison headcrabs on its back. When faced with an enemy, these headcrabs can detach or be thrown by the zombie towards the enemy. A poison zombie will typically try to exhaust all its headcrabs before attacking itself with its mutated claws unless the target is too close. A bite from a poison headcrab will invariably reduce the player's health to 1, after which the HEV suit will administer an antidote that will slowly regenerate the player's health minus the headcrab's bite damage. This will leave the player vulnerable to other threats in the area, so it is advised to get some distance from the poison headcrab and any other threat in the area when bitten. Preemptively, it's better to avoid the bite entirely, which is relatively easy. Poison headcrabs are slow to attack and will telegraph their movements so the player knows when it will jump. Avoid the attack by going sideways, as moving backwards can still guarantee a hit from the headcrab. Poison headcrabs cannot attack consecutively as fast as the common or fast headcrabs, so the player has a good chance to kill it after it jumps. Since poison headcrabs have higher health than most headcrabs and tend to run when shot, taking one out quickly requires a weapon that deals damage immediately instead of gradually. The PS-12 shotgun is a good weapon for this. One shot at close range will kill a poison headcrab instantly. Another good alternative is the .357 Magnum, which is a one-shot kill at any range, making it good for eliminating them before entering the range. Like all headcrabs, poison headcrabs can be stunned and killed with 3 blasts from the gravity gun, though this method is less effective than just picking up a heavy object, then launching it at the headcrab, which kills it instantly. Poison headcrabs can also be killed with 1 hit from a crowbar. This can be risky due to getting close to the headcrab, so hit it before it has a chance to jump, or avoid the jump, then hit it. It's better to take out poison headcrabs first, before focusing on other enemies, due to their venomous bite. Poison headcrabs prefer to hide when they can, as opposed to staying out in the open, which can make locating them difficult. Fortunately, they are vocal creatures, and will make themselves known with their distinct vocalizations. When the player hears the sound, they can immediately know one is present, and provided there is no other threat, look for it and kill it. The armoured headcrab is one of the 4 known headcrab variants, which was introduced in Half-Life Alyx. For the most part, the armoured headcrab resembles a standard headcrab. However, the dorsal part of the armoured headcrab's body is covered by hard, dark green plum-sized growths that protect it from being shot from most angles. However, their ventral side is quite vulnerable. When shot to the belly, armoured headcrabs shatter to pieces. Armoured headcrabs differ from normal headcrabs in that they are coated in a carapace that offers them protection against small arms fire. Said carapace appears to be made up from zine flora growing on walls and floors in the same environments as they are encountered in. Additionally, there are smaller vestigial growths around the legs and fore, making up a scaly surface. Armoured headcrabs will growl at their prey and stand up on their hind legs prior to leaping, revealing a glowing heart, which is not unique to armoured variants, as a standard headcrab can be witnessed having its heart removed by the quarantine zone Vortigaunt, albeit through some tissue. From the protrusion and engorgement of this organ, it can be assumed that the presence of the armour has some anatomical effects on headcrabs, similar to the effects headcrabs themselves have on the human body. Shooting this aforementioned organ is the most effective way to kill the armoured headcrab, and doing so will cause the creature to burst into multiple giblets. It is possible to kill the creature via shooting its exposed parts along the sides, but will require much more ammunition and effort. This method will result in the headcrab remaining intact, with the heart losing its glow, as well as its explosive properties. It is assumed that the nature of these growths is parasitic, due to the exposed internal organ that armoured headcrabs possess, as well as their general lessened agility. From this, it can be further inferred that the Zen flora poses a similar strategy to that of cordyceps, using the motility of the headcrab to spread its offspring, further spreading after the headcrab is blown to pieces. The Reviver is a new class of headcrab introduced in Half-Life Alyx, designed to escalate the Combine's biological warfare through a mix of parasitism and electrical disruption. Unlike traditional headcrabs, which rely on brute force and surprise, the Reviver introduces a layered threat. It does not just reanimate corpses, it transforms them. By latching onto dead hosts, the Reviver creates electrically charged zombies capable of ranged attacks and area denial, forcing players into high-alert engagement zones. These revived forms retain standard zombie aggression, but gain the ability to discharge electricity in short bursts, disrupting electronics and damaging anything nearby. Biologically, the Reviver differs radically from its predecessors. Its body is stretched and wiry, with semi-transparent skin and a prominent tail fin that acts as both a sensory probe and a weapon. It's this tail that delivers the Reviver's signature electrical attacks, capable of shorting out cover and stunning enemies mid-fight. If dislodged from a host, the Reviver becomes evasive, using smoke-like electric clouds to vanish or reposition, showing a level of self-preservation unseen in earlier headcrab species. When killed, it drops a unique bioelectric core that can be repurposed to power Combine interfaces, an ironic twist given its otherwise hostile nature. Functionally, the Reviver is a synthesis of two threats: the psychological horror of zombification and the tactical challenge of energy-based combat. Its inclusion in Half-Life Alyx is a deliberate design choice, meant to escalate the game's horror and force players to think differently about each corpse in the environment. Every fallen body becomes a potential hazard, and every encounter demands both precision and speed. Headcrabs are a parasitic species. Upon sighting a humanoid host, a headcrab will leap for the victim's face and affix themselves to the head, where they will use their beak to break into the victim's skull and dig their legs into the victim's upper torso. The headcrab then proceeds to take over their host's body through an unknown biological process. However, it is assumed that it will penetrate and seize control of the brainstem, and thus the signals controlling the motor functions of the host body. The host will then undergo physical changes, presumably induced through chemical means. Although the mutations vary between headcrab subspecies, common changes include the deterioration of flesh, which also gives an illusion of longer fingers, reduction or removal of skin and muscle tissue across much of the body, and the exposure of the organs inside the abdominal cavity. Headcrabs keep their host alive throughout the entire process, unable to remove the headcrab. As seen in Station 6 in Half-Life 2, it can take anywhere from several seconds to several minutes for a headcrab to convert their hosts into zombies. The host appears to stay in some state of consciousness once the headcrab has taken control. Standard zombies retain a certain ability to talk, always heard as violent cries for help. Zombines seem to be able to speak with their vocoders. Each headcrab subspecies affects their host in their own unique way, producing a zombie extremely distinct from the other types, in both appearance and behaviour. On the surface, the headcrab life cycle appears to defy logic. They appear to be specifically adapted to parasitize humans, a species which they had never encountered prior to the Black Mesa incident. Furthermore, the existence of the gonarch seems to suggest that they do not even need to find a host to complete their life cycle, which would render the entire zombification process seemingly functionless. Since headcrabs actually are not native to Zen, one possibility is that they are actually adapted to parasitize some yet unseen creature on their native world, one which humans simply happen to greatly resemble by unfortunate coincidence. In Half-Life Alyx, Alex at one point comes across a headcrab attempting to fuse to a mannequin, which would indicate that the resemblance is indeed a visual one, as opposed to, for example, olfactory. If opposing force is taken as canon, it may also be possible that a natural host creature with a headcrab bonded to it eventually mutates it into a gonarch, similar to how a virus mutates a targeted cell into a factory for more viruses, and that the reason this has not been seen with a human zombie is that the similarities between a human and a natural host creature only go so far. It thus may also be possible that the cutting open of a zombie's abdomen is not an attempt to create a new mouth, but actually an attempt to expose whatever organ in a natural host creature would later be distended into the gonarch's birth sac. In Half-Life 2, the Combine are seen utilising headcrabs as a form of biological weaponry against the Resistance. Headcrab shells, as they are known, are large mortar shells containing a payload of headcrabs, which are released on impact, free to infect or terrorise anyone nearby. If used in large numbers, these shells are highly effective in neutralising a large resistance base. The effects of large-scale headcrab shelling are seen during Gordon's visit to the devastated town of Ravenholm, where most inhabitants have been turned into zombies. In Episode 1, it seems that the Combine have begun to lose control over their bioweapon. Headcrabs begin infecting Overwatch soldiers, showing that the large-scale effects of shelling have caused even Combine-controlled areas to be affected.
A Combine zombie? That's like a zombine, right? Zombine, get it? Okay.
If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more. And if you're looking for something cool for yourself and also help support me and the channel, you can check out our store for some merch. Thank you all and hope to see you in the next video.